With the hustle and bustle of today's economy, it seems like nothing could put it to a stop until COVID-19. Shops, schools, restaurants, and all businesses in between were put to an immediate halt in order to try to slow down this new mystery virus. And of course, with every economic booster being grind to a halt, economic sanctions across the globe were affected one by one. When we hear this, it's easy to think of this as an economic negative, but in the long run, it may not be as bad for the economy as we may think.
The crisis has rather vividly shown that there is not only one big world economy indeed, but that there are different economies that are also organized according to different principles and institutional arrangements. I think what is important to recognize is that those essential goods and services are part of an economy that in this foundational economy, long-term economic thinking, planning, cooperation, particularly a focus on resilience, is much more important than short-term profit maximization.
With the coronavirus showing us economic flaws, it's important to realize that short-term product maximization is no longer something to celebrate, and rather a concept to move away from.
So this foundational economy is actually the basis for functioning societies. However, it has been widely neglected in economic policy making over the last decades. But I think what we need to recognize is that the crisis is symptomatic for the inherent instability and vulnerability of our current economic system. I mean, what does it say about an economy that after 2, 3, 4 months of slowing down certain activities collapses? So I think we have built over the last decades and also actively promoted an economy that primarily seeks to increase growth rates. Efficiency is not always the only measure we should value certain things. The goal of a functioning economy should therefore be to provide some sort of stability and resilience in order to secure these livelihoods. However, the hyper-globalized economy had actually a contrary effect. It increased instability and vulnerability. And if a lot of sectors have now collapsed, I mean, it would be the perfect time to rebuild them in a sustainable way.
This economic situation will not only enable us to slow down, but it'll also give us the opportunity to reevaluate the economic structure that came tumbling down in the midst of a crisis.
End of June means summer vacation. The last flights are booked and are checked off on one's destination list. However, this June is not like the years before. Due to the corona crisis, a vacation abroad has almost become impossible. The economic impact on the aviation industry is serious and will be difficult to offset in the coming years. In the following video, 2 employees of the Austrian Airlines reflect on the future of the aviation industry and the possible changes in the travel habits.
No traffic, empty halls and less than 10 planes on the runway. This was the ghostly sight of the Vienna airport at the beginning of June. The corona crisis hit the airline industry hard. Flight operations had been suspended since March 19th. Employees have been working part-time. It is uncertain what the future of the airline industry will look like.
Zumindest jetzt in den letzten vergangenen Wochen zeichnet sich doch ein gewisses Umdenken ab. Unabhängig davon, dass man noch nicht reisen kann, wie man möchte, bleiben doch die meisten zu Hause oder verlassen das Land dann eher nicht.
Will people feel the urge to travel after being blocked for weeks? The economical or financial situation, health and safety concerns, as well as the sustainability debate around the global climate protection have the ability to influence the travel decisions.
Die Flugbranche ist momentan in einer ganz schwierigen Situation aufgrund dessen, dass wahrscheinlich die Reiselust gewissermaßen in den nächsten Monaten, Jahren eingeschränkt ist, wird es wahrscheinlich sehr hart werden für die gesamte Flugbranche.
Es hat sich auf alle Fälle schon davor was verändert im Umweltbewusstsein. Es hat sich einiges schon getan und ich glaube nicht, dass die Krise jetzt was bewirkt hat in dem Sinn. Gerade bei der Flugbranche glaube ich es nicht, weil einfach durch die günstigen Ticketpreise die Menschen fliegen. Da müsste sich dort etwas tun.
By 2024, the airline industry is expected to return to its pre-crisis level.
A couple of weeks ago, sitting in a cafe or eating out at a restaurant was not possible due to the coronavirus lockdown. But even though cafes and restaurants are slowly opening again, gastronomy has been one of the industries that suffered the most from COVID-19. We spoke with people in the industry to get an insight into the damage that's been done. Not being able to eat out, socialize or work in cafes and restaurants has been difficult for people, but it's been even worse for restaurant owners and employees.
Also der Shutdown war natürlich für alle ein Schock, für die ganze Branche ein Schock, weil von 100 auf 0 in einem Tag. Die Situation war am Anfang relativ unübersichtlich. Einerseits war Kurzarbeit hier ein Thema, andererseits wurde die Schritt für Schritt noch nachgebessert. Sie war am Anfang nicht sehr attraktiv, weshalb man sich auch von manchen Mitarbeitern trennen musste. Die Catering-Branche ist überhaupt ganz hart getroffen, weil Veranstaltungen verboten sind, Angst und Verunsicherung um sich greift. Also hier rechnen wir vor Herbst, Winter mit kaum zählbaren Aufträgen.
Also die stärkste Auswirkung für die Gastronomie war sicher, dass wir 2 Monate zusperren haben müssen und dieser Umsatzverlust ist sehr schmerzvoll. Jeder Gastronom braucht eigentlich ein Polster für den Sommer, wo meistens weniger los ist und da ist es besonders schmerzvoll gewesen, dass jetzt vor dem Sommer die 2 Monate zugesperrt worden sind. Von der staatlichen Hilfe sind wir eigentlich sehr enttäuscht. Also wir haben bis jetzt nur jeder 500 € bekommen, meine Co-Geschäftsführerin und ich. Und vor allem muss man sehr lange warten immer auf das Geld, also speziell auf die Zusage der Bank für einen Kredit oder auch die Härtefallauszahlung. Und das ist bei weitem nicht so unbürokratisch und schnell, wie es angekündigt worden ist und funktioniert meiner Meinung nach ganz schlecht.
Many business owners are afraid of a second infection wave and possibly another lockdown. So if we want to keep enjoying our coffee dates, we all need to keep our distance and stick to the rules.
Restaurants, pubs and fitness centers are only some businesses that were affected by the coronavirus. People lost their jobs, companies lost money, and the whole world is on the verge of an economic collapse. Today we are speaking with Alvin, water polo player from Zagreb, who was affected by this situation, as well as his club and his teammates. This is a place where water polo players train and play all the important tournaments. But because of the virus, safety and regulations, the pool was closed for 2 months. This is the most time Alvin has spent outside of water as he started playing water polo in his early ages.
If you're a professional athlete, you need to train every day, and that mainly had a lot of effect on us because we're a water sport. Most sports you can train at your home, at your field, at your playground, but water polo is specific because of the swimming pool. And without swimming pools, they were all emptied out and we couldn't train. It was a very, very difficult time for us.
The consequences weren't only psychological but also economical. A lot happens behind the scenes that people don't know about. All water polo championships had to be postponed, which resulted in financial cut from sponsors that play a large role in financing the players.
The money, the sponsorships, the paychecks for the players, it all stopped because they didn't know how to pay us, and they tried to collect funds from the state to pay us, and of course there were some budget cuts and there were some salary cuts for the players. They also cut my salary, 12%, it's not much, but still.
The pools are now full again, trainings are being continued, but it's going to take a lot of time before things go back to normal for Alvin again. A lot of hard work is ahead of him and his teammates. Thank you everyone for taking the time to watch these clips. Hopefully you learned something new and interesting while enjoying the work that went into these clips. Everything was produced by the international students of FH Wien.